Honestly, I think you've been scammed. We are doing the excursion 14 parishes in 14 days. And we are going to talk about, I am going to talk about Montego Bay. Now, Montego Bay, I think, was parish number, hold on, let me get me a second. Kingston, St. Catherine, parish number 8 or number 9 thereabout. Yes, so I decided to, remember that I'm staying one parish, one day in each parish. Now, it was time for Montego Bay, but before I tell you about Montego Bay, let me give you a back story. Now, when I was choosing the places to stay, I think I chose it like a week before my travel or something of that sort. Now, I have a lot of friends in Montego Bay and I have a lot of family and aunts and the whole works, but I wanted a different experience. I wanted an adventure. So I was saying to myself, how could we get an adventure? Anyway, I was saying, okay, I'm not going to stay with family, I'm just going to do something different. I went on Airbnb.com, because you know that Airbnb is for staying places in all around the world for cheaper price than a hotel, or sometimes a hostel. Well, not all the way, but cheaper than a hotel. And I went through the list. I mean, I had an account already. I went through the list and I came across this booking or this area that I thought was very interesting. I was saying, that is something. The name was, it had a really strange name. I think it was called Hammock Stew. Don't laugh. Do not laugh. It's exactly what it says. Hammock Stew. Now, when I read through the details and everything, it said that you'll be staying in a hammock on someone's veranda. Now, thinking about this logically. Sleeping on someone's veranda in Montego Bay. Remember in Jamaica, but in Jamaica, Montego Bay is known for, yes, the beaches and the tourist attractions, but they're also known for scamming. And every now and then they'll have wild shots flying all over the place in certain areas. So you don't want to be outside in the night on someone, because that's how one of my cousins died. He was just minding his own business and they just randomly shot him on the road because he just happened to be at the wrong place in the wrong time. So me thinking about sleeping on someone's veranda in Montego Bay in a hammock. No, think about that. Am I righted? Am I insane or am I normal? That's not normal. But you know what? I wanted an adventure. And I said, okay, let's do the adventure. So I said, okay, I'm going to work with that one. By the way, I think it was $11 I paid for that. And it was for 2 persons. So it was about $6 per person. Very ridiculous, right? Interesting. So I booked everything and I said, okay, I wanted to find out if they had like sheets and all of these things. I said, okay, perfect. I spoke with the guy and he said that yes, everything is sorted out and all of that. Now, I said to myself, all right, everything is booked. Everything is good. So on the day that we were supposed to go to Montego Bay, based on previous knowledge, I said that I'm going to collect all the information. So I wrote down the number and I wrote down the address and the contact person and all of these things, right? I, however, did not ask for the direction, which I think probably was my mistake. But coming to think of it, there was no description, because when I went on the page, I wrote down everything that I could. And I was saying that because I have his phone number, I'm going to just simply call him when I reach the area so that they know that I'm coming, and yeah, etc. etc. Now, when I got in Montego Bay, before I went on the taxi, I said to myself, let me call him first to not get lost. So I went into an area where I could sit down with public people, and it was a bit secured, so I don't have to worry about people dragging my phone and all of these things. I went and I sat down. I think I went to Burger King, and I said, let me call the guy. I called the guy, not getting his phone ringing, no answer. So okay, fine, let's give him 10 minutes and call again. Calling him, no answer. Calling him, no. I'm saying, no, this is not right. But you know what? It is after 3 in the evening and I need to get to the place. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I know the area where he's going. It is Bogue Hill and I have the address and all of these things. So I said, okay, I must get a taxi to go there. I said, okay, let's ask someone where the Bogue Hill taxis are. I go in the supermarket and I said, okay, where do you find the Bogue Hill taxis? They directed me and I was on my way. Marky, I was still with my brother. Before I went into the taxi, I said to the man, taxi, I am going to Bogue Hill. This is the contact person. Do you know that person? Him say, yeah man, we know Jesse, we know him from long time and whatever, right? So the taxi man know where I'm going and he know where this guy lives. So yes, we're going to stay there. And by the way, this guy has he has multiple houses and he have multiple guests at the places, or I think, or that's what he said. They have he had a lot of reviews, so I'm assuming people actually stayed there, right? I went to the place. I was in the taxi and I realized that people were just coming off, and it just reached to the point where we were the only ones in the car. After he did everything, he went back on the main road and he went back up a hill, and I'm like, he's just going up a hill and the hill is just never ending, right? When we went up into the hill in some parts, I was saying to myself, where the hell did I bring myself to? Why didn't I research the place before I decided to book this place? I started going, when at the foot of the hill, they had some really nice houses, and I was saying, yes, this is looking good. But then I just see the houses start depreciating and they just start changing and getting closer and closer to each other. I say, what is this? Anyway, I don't say anything. I say, no, what, yeah, this is an experience and we're going for the experience, right? I am there just watching the taxi man going up his way, and he got to a part where the road could no longer accept vehicles. That is the only explanation I can give. The road could no longer accept cars. He stopped at that section, and I think he was nearby a shop or something, and then they had men sitting on the side of the shop playing dominoes, smoking weed, and they were drinking alcohol, and they just, no disrespect to Bogue Hill and their posse, but for a tourist, for somebody who is going into the place, it wasn't pleasant. And I was like, okay, where am I? Where am I going? Where am I going? And when I got to the final destination, the taxi man said to me, by the way, when we were going up, a guy came in and he said that the guy was his cousin and he knew where I'm going. I said, okay, that's not bad. Okay. When we stopped at the place, the shop, he said to me, go up that road, make a left turn, or is it a right turn, by the black jump, and walk up a few more like houses or something, and then you will see the house on the right hand side or something like that, right? So I was saying to myself, okay, he knows where he's going and his cousin is coming out of the car, so he should be helping me, right? Fine. The taxi man, the guy in the car gave the exact same direction. So okay, I know where I'm going. This guy just directed me to the place. Came out the car and I started walking. Now, when I say this road is not no normal road, we are talking about some beaten down track, some full of stone something. We are now in Bogue Hill, Montego, St. James, and this is the road that I have to go to, and I'm tired of coming from that direction. It's a long walk, but listen, the view over that side, hallelujah, it is amazing. Come in, Jerry, come in. Come in now. Bounty Killer Star. It's a road there normal. It looks like a water wash it out, you know. You can see like the water area. But my God, no car can travel there, so. And I'll rip out the whole of the bottom part. Question is, I just have to come back down and come back up. It's scary. Anyway, I was just walking and I said, okay, I had my brother this and I said, Jerry, boy, that road is bad. This road is bad. But I kept walking and when I went, I was going up the hill. You will see a guy in the front or in the white coming down the hill. I realized that I've passed the so-called black drum that I thought that was there, and I was just walking and I couldn't find the spot. Now I stopped the guy and I said to the guy, hello, do you know where the guy lives? So and so lives. The guy said, no sir, I don't know nobody named so. What's his name? No, so nobody on him so live so. Nobody else on live so. No, nobody well let me say it. Him say nobody no live your name so. So me I say no sir. Maybe this a guy you new. Maybe he's new. Let me ask someone else. There was somebody on the left hand side washing his car, and I said to him, hello, good evening, do you know where so and so lives? And they must say, no sir, I don't know nobody named so.